Science is all about a provable and repeatable process. You probably learned it in school. Ask a question, do research, construct a hypothesis, test the hypothesis, analyze the data, and communicate the results. But what happens when people claim something to be fact, but they can't really prove it to be true? We call this pseudoscience. They either don't test their theories at all, or only pick the results that support their theories. This is not only terrible science, but it helps to drive many dangerous and wrong ideas. Stay tuned to number 1 to find out which inexplicable pseudoscience is still used to find underground sources of water today. Number 10. Astrology. Astrologists claim to be able to predict a person's personality based upon the alignment of stars when they were born, but no study has ever been able to show any strong connection between the location of the stars in the sky and a person's personality or abilities. Astrology's popularity may come from its tendency to make people self-fulfill their daily predictions. You may not even be aware that you're doing it, but if you read that you're going to have a terrible day, you are more likely to actually have one simply because it's on your mind. This is known also as the power of suggestion. Because of the power of your subconscious mind to see these predictions play out in the innocuousness of your daily grind, this particular pseudoscience has developed what is also known as confirmation bias, which simply means that you will actively look for evidence to confirm your horoscope. So though astrology may have no scientific credibility, our basic psychology can cause us to believe in it, even if we have no reason to. Number 9. Psychic abilities. Some people are said to be able to perceive information that are not normal within the human senses. They call this ESP, or extrasensory perception. And this ESP allows them to do things like read minds or speak with ghosts. Many studies have been done in the field of psychic powers, and they have produced inconsistent results, which means that psychics are not able to prove that they are indeed psychic. While psychic abilities may be true, a lot of people who claim to be psychic are actually just using a system of hot and cold reading. This means that they will look for answers to questions that could cover a broad range of people, making it seem like they have knowledge of a single individual. Coupled with a good grasp of reading and understanding body language, they can change their answers if they think that you are reacting negatively to their replies. And, therefore, you believe that they are actually able to communicate with your dead relatives. Number 8. The vaccination and autism link. This is another contentious point, with loud voices on both sides of the argument. But there are definitely some dangerous points of this pseudoscience theory. This began in the late 1990s when a study, published by a British surgeon, suggested that the MMR, measles, mumps, and rubella vaccine, was increasing autism in British children. The paper has since been discredited because of serious procedural errors, financial conflicts of interest within those who performed the testing, and also ethical violations. The man who wrote the paper eventually even lost his medical license. Even after all this, many look at his conclusions seriously, but several other major studies have since been conducted, all of which concluded that there was no conclusive link between any vaccine and autism. To this day, many believe that vaccines cause harm, which is still the subject of debate. However, not getting vaccinated is equally as dangerous and puts the lives of other children at risk, and, rather more concerning, has the ability to bring back strains of many terrible diseases that were once thought to be eradicated. Number 7. Homeopathy. Created in 1796 by Samuel Hahnemann, cures for any and all ailments were manufactured using a process of homeopathic dilution, where a chosen substance is repeatedly diluted to the point where no molecules of the original substance remain. Homeopathy claims water can cure you because it once held medicine. Think about that for a second, and then think about all the other things that water has held. And then maybe don't, because it's too disgusting. Homeopathy is not a plausible treatment because its beliefs about how drugs, illness, the human body, liquids, and solutions work have been contradicted by a wide range of discoveries in other topics, including biology, psychology, physics, and chemistry. And yes, some clinical trials have produced positive results, but multiple systemic reviews have shown that this is because of chance, flawed research methods, and reporting bias. Let's just stick with the doctors. Number 6. Intelligent design. If the answer to every question about evolution is because God wanted it that way, then you believe more in faith than science. And that's okay. We're certainly not here to convince you otherwise. But intelligent design is a religious argument for the existence of God, presented by its followers as an evidence-based scientific theory about life's origins. But as all evidence points to the contrary, it could also be considered pseudoscience. Supporters of intelligent design often claim that certain features of the universe and of living things are best explained by an intelligent cause, not an undirected process such as natural selection. However, educators, philosophers, and the scientific community have demonstrated that creationism lacks any empirical support and offers no testable or tenable hypothesis, and so it's not science. Not to say that that should waver your faith. Number 5. Toxins and chemical-free. Ever been on a cleanse to rid your body of toxins? Ever question what those toxins actually are? Well, scientifically, they are a poisonous substance produced by living cells that, when introduced into a new body, causes the creation of antibodies. It is not just a coverall term for a bad thing that's in all the stuff I don't like. While a detox diet may well encourage you to eat more healthy food, that's really all it's doing. And while we're at it, can we stop saying that things are chemical-free? They're not. In fact, you are a walking bag of chemicals. Not all chemicals are bad. After all, you'd die without H2O and O2, wouldn't you? There are an outstanding number of items advertised as chemical-free. Seriously, Google it. But there is no such thing as chemical-free shampoo. It will maybe have less damaging chemicals in it, but even all natural products are made of chemicals because, well, everything is. Number 4. Graphology. Graphology, or graphoanalysis, but not graph analysis, is the belief that a person's personality can be seen in their handwriting, that the physical characteristics and patterns of handwriting can identify the writer, indicate psychological state at the time of writing, and evaluate personal characteristics. Controversial for more than a century, graphology supporters often try to show anecdotal evidence of positive testimonials as a reason to use this pseudoscience for personality evaluation. However, as with all the things I've mentioned earlier, empirical studies fail to show any validity. Number 3. Nibiru cataclysm. This is the belief that there is a large planet, Planet X, or Nibiru, close to our solar system and that we are destined to collide with it, causing the end of the world. There is, however, absolutely no evidence of this other planet's existence. But this does not stop the supporters who believe that NASA is at the heart of a global elite conspiracy to hide the truth from the general population, while they seek refuge in secret underground bunkers. The existence of Nibiru was first speculated in 1976, when writer Zecharia Sitchin claimed that the Babylonians and the Sumerians totaled a great planet dubbed Nibiru, which orbited the sun, and in 1995 by Nancy Leiter, who started a website called Zeta Talk, where she tells people that she can communicate with extraterrestrial life. These beings, from the planet Zeta Reticuli star system, send her messages via an implant in her brain. These beings told her to warn mankind of its impending doom, as Nibiru would enter our solar system in 2003. Well, that didn't happen. And so that changed to September 2017. But we're still here. Number 2. Flat Earthers. Here we go. My favorite of the pseudosciences, the Flat Earthers. Members of the Flat Earth Society claim to believe that the Earth is flat. This is because when they walk around on the planet's surface, it looks and feels flat, when in reality, the Earth is just vastly bigger than they are, and it looks flat because the difference in size makes it difficult for the naked eye to see natural curvature. Any and all evidence to the contrary, including images of the Earth from space clearly showing the world to be round, are said to have been altered by NASA. The leading flat Earth theory holds that the Earth is a disk with the Arctic Circle in the center, and Antarctica is a 150-foot wall of ice around the rim. NASA is full of employees who are apparently only there to stop people from climbing over the wall and falling off the disk. They explain night and day by saying that the moon, known to be 384,000 kilometers from Earth, and the sun, 147 million kilometers from Earth, are spheres that are really 32 miles across and move in circles only 3,000 miles above the surface of the Earth. Oh, and there's also an invisible anti-moon that hides the moon during the lunar eclipse. They also believe that there is no gravity, but rather that the Earth is driven upwards at 32 feet per second squared by some dark energy. Flat Earthers also think that GPS devices are rigged to make airplane pilots think they are flying in straight lines around a sphere when they are actually flying in circles above a disk. I'm not sure what else I can say. Apart from that, recently, when asked by Elon Musk why there was no flat Mars society, they replied by saying that Mars had been observed to be round. Well, I have news for you. So has Earth. Number 1. Dowsing rods. Proved by science to be as effective as random chance, dowsing is still used to this day by some water companies as a way of finding underground water wells. Dowsing is a type of divination using two L-shaped twigs or rods, individually called a dowsing rod, divining rod, or witching rod, in blind attempts to locate groundwater, buried metals or ores, gemstones, oil, grave sites, and any other buried item without the use of a scientific apparatus. Holding the rods in your hands, you walk with them out in front of you until they move across each other, a signal that you have found what you're looking for. The movement of dowsing rods is now generally attributed to the ideometer effect. The ideometer effect is a reflexive response, usually to pain, but the body sometimes reacts reflexively to ideas alone without the person consciously making the movements. The effects of automatic writing, dowsing, Ouija boards have all been attributed to this phenomenon. You want something to happen? Your body creates it. Are there any other pseudosciences that you believe in or would like to debunk? Please let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to douse your way to that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time.